This woman actually makes me very, very angry. So Jasmine Crocket, what I like to call Jamie Crocket or Jamie Cricket, um, one of the dumbest members of Congress, and that's saying something of beach blonde, bad built butch woman fame, who brings shame upon the great state of Texas and her district, was at it again, whining about diversity, equity, and inclusion over on in Congress, wasting valuable C-SPAN tape and airtime, and wasting the oxygen that God gave her to live a very long and prosperous life to scream out like a Urban View blacktivist radio host who somehow got elected to a job in the House of Representatives. On one hand, this woman is so dumb that I like her to run for Congress, and she'd probably genuinely lose to Mickey Mouse and Ted Cruz in a 70-20-10% split. But then again, if she ran for Congress, I'd have to come see her in my church and see her waste the valuable airtime, microphone, and space that would be provided to her as a member who's out here campaigning. And I also have to see one of her annoying ads talking about how quote unquote they are erasing history from the United States of America. I already hear enough of that at home and in the media and in churches and stuff like that. And it's so annoying. This woman literally reminds me of some stupid blacktivist radio host who somehow, got a job in Congress and is ripping off Americans for $170,000 to sit there and blabber on about nothing when she literally has the IQ of a dead squirrel. And I don't even like Peanut the squirrel, but that's an insult. Anyway, here's the video from Matt Walsh, and he just compiled some of the funniest clips. So thank you to Daily Wire for this. But honestly, this woman is beyond parody and is actually annoying, and I despise her with every fiber of being in my body.
Critics, honestly. And it helps that Crocket has the IQ of a baby squirrel, as well.
Like Matt Walsh says, and I think that's so sad. I feel bad for all the baby squirrels in America. They do not deserve to be treated like this. I mean, baby squirrels, at least know how to go find a nut. They know how to go at least go climb a tree, and they probably would survive longer than Jamie Crockett would, running around the street. Like I'm not sure if she knows to look both ways to cross the street. Like if you just both put them on the same street, unfortunately, the squirrel might last longer. All right, here we go.
As we'll also see. So here's how her statement began. She starts by touting her own extensive credentials and then launches into a really kind of astonishing monologue.
And this is probably a great ad for her, whatever college she went to not go. Like, I'm honestly surprised this woman can name all 26 letters in the English alphabet. Like if you ask her to go take a drunk driving test, she might not be able to recite the alphabet all the way up to letter 13. I'm not sure about that. I mean, baby squirrels could probably beat her in an IQ test. That's no hate towards her. I think she should resign and stop being an embarrassment to the state of Texas and get on the radio and yap to a bunch of people. And I mean, I have to hear her annoying voice, but I mean, at least she can't go ruin her Dallas district. So I guess the people who voted for her, I mean, they're kind of ruined already. Like you couldn't pay me enough money to vote for this woman. Anyway, please run for president. Please run for president. Please run for president. Oh man, I just want to hear the national anthem when you get crushed. Okay, like it's gonna be Ronald Reagan 1984 all over again. Anyway, here we go.
Watch.
Okay, Ms. Crockett.
So many of you know that I practice law, but some of you don't realize.
Poor law. Like she practiced it, she probably failed. She lost. She lost the Super Bowl of law. I mean, imagine this woman was a lawyer. Oof.
That I actually was a business major out of Rhodes College in Memphis, Tennessee.
Don't attend Rhodes College, people.
And the emphasis that I got in my business degree was on finance. And as I traveled the country campaigning this election cycle, one of the things that I talked about was this idea that in finance, we always promote this idea of diversity. If you know anything about
Okay. And you're like, okay, I see where she's going. You guys should, this is not financial advice, you guys should diversify your income. I've listened to enough CNBC to know that. Okay, let's go.
Portfolio, the one thing that you want to do is make sure that it's as diverse as possible, because at times certain stocks will perform better than others, and they will.
That's true. Also, Boss Baby told me that. So it's not like this is great. Logic that's coming. It's not like she sees some great oracle. Like everyone knows this. Okay.
They will exemplify various strengths and weaknesses, and together a diverse portfolio is usually what any good finance person would promote. They wouldn't promote that you solely invest in vanilla wafers, believing that that is going to be the strongest portfolio, but instead they may want to add some chocolate cake and some Twinkies into the mix to make sure that we have the best portfolio, because there will be different preferences by different people, and again, there will be different strengths.
Okay. Okay. So in this, she's trying to say that DEI is like having a diverse portfolio of different foods. I think she's tried to compare, and I looked up what a Twinkie was. I think they're like white. White with yellow on the inside. I don't know what race that's supposed to be, but the chocolate cake is supposed to be black people, and the vanilla wafers are supposed to be white people. Which I think she wants to kind of like codify DEI into law. Which, first of all, a diverse portfolio is for when stocks go up and down due to the changing nature of the stock market. So if stocks are going up, let's say Apple stock goes up around October, again, not financial advice, because they are launching a new iPhone, you might want to have some Apple stock. But if it starts to dip after the Christmas season, after everyone bought their iPhones and their MacBooks, and it's like, I don't know, April or something, then you also want to have some other stock in some other companies that perform well around April. Maybe have some grilling company or something like that, because it's about to be grill season, and people are going to start going outside because the weather is warming up. That's what a diverse portfolio is supposed to do. I'm not really sure how that compares with races. So he's trying to say that different races at different times perform differently. That doesn't make any sense. Like, are you trying to say that in February and October, because it's Black History Month in the United States and the UK being October, like they'll perform better? And when Asian History Month rolls around, you want to have some Asians on your squad because they'll perform better. And there is no White History Month, but as these Black activists like to say, well, every month is White History Month, so we always celebrate a white person every day of the week. So what? Are they gonna perform better every day? Or are you trying to claim that white people don't perform well at sometimes? Like, it's Christmas time. I'm not gonna perform well today, but Black people will. Like, that doesn't even make sense. But I mean, I'm not really sure how you're gonna compare different stocks and random foods, sugary foods, to people. People perform essentially the same over time. You shouldn't hire based off of race or based off of talent and skill. But here she is trying to compare black people to investing in chocolate cake stocks because we'll perform better at a different time, and white people will perform better at a different time. I mean, that does not make any sense. And this is why this lady has the IQ of like roadkill. Okay, I'm not even going to be insulting to the baby squirrels of the United States of America.
So don't hire Jasmine Crocket as your financial advisor. I think
absolutely not. I mean, she probably couldn't tell a good stock from Peanut the squirrel, but which is probably her sibling, seeing as they both have the same IQs, 0. It's absolutely asinine to think that different stocks or like different people in terms of diverse hiring, and she's trying to get it turned into a law or something like that, which doesn't make any sense, because she's trying to claim that it makes you perform better, which if that be true, it is not illegal for a company to lose money. It's not illegal for a company to have terrible business practices. If it is true that hiring different people so they perform better at different times, different races of people, then it wouldn't need to be a law. People would figure it out and they do it themselves, right? You don't need to tell businesses to run advertisements. There's no all companies must run advertisements, right? If you run advertisements, then revenue will come in more. most like more revenue will come in. Most like you don't need to run an advertisement for that. Like I know I tease on those free market people all the time. Like the free market's not a person. The free market's not going to actually go out there and build a mode. But the free market will figure this out. If having a quote unquote diverse team is better for business than having a non-diverse team because they perform better at different times or something, then businesses will naturally do that if they absent of government pressure, absent of government regulations or laws, unless they're just run by extremely racist members of society. And I think that if absent of these laws, like we'll actually see more businesses like POC or BLM businesses like that would actually be more discriminatory against white people than they would actually against black than white people would be towards black people. But people are not going to be running terrible businesses just to run terrible businesses. Okay.
Press.
But you consistently said over and over the word oppression, and every time that you said it, it was almost as if I was hearing nails on a chalkboard. Because
well, also what sounds like nails on a chalkboard? Your voice, because you sound exactly like some annoying, annoying black people. You turn on, some radio station. We did some episode about KTSU, like I think a year ago, almost 2 years ago. We did an episode about the Urban View, which is the dumbest satellite radio station in the history of satellite radio stations. I mean, I've honestly learned more from the comedy station on the satellite. But, I mean, at least, they don't have any power. Like, sure, their IQs are in the gutter, and sure they yap, and sure they have people calling in, and they're probably wasting their cell phone minutes. But they don't really have much power. This woman has power, and she is unfortunately old enough to run for president of the United States. And God save this country if she ever were to win.
Because it seems like you don't understand the definition of oppression. And I'd ask you to just refer to Google to help you out. Oppression is the prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment.
It's always these people like, oh, wow, guys, look, I got a phone. I can look stuff up.
Do your own research. You can do your own research and you'll find out these great things. I actually love American history. I love the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. All men and created equal. If you do your own research, you can find so interesting that we built slavery and how, we all need reparations. So lift every voice and sing. And, I'm a little oppressed person standing in the door. Could you please give me reparations? I'm so oppressed. I got a bunch of idiots to vote for me so I can sit here and yap on C-SPAN all day.
She's draining.
Or control. That is the definition of oppression. And so as I sit here as a Black woman who practiced civil rights, let me tell you the reason that
I mean, you don't have to sit there if you don't want to. In fact, I would gladly take your spot.
My colleagues wanted to make sure you understood the same Black history that
And there we go again, trying to,
your side of the aisle wants to delete out of class.
There they go again with the whole, it's all racist. We don't know to take it out. They're trying to burn the book. It's always, these people, they are always trying to do this. They. Like, who is this they? Could you actually point to evidence? Point to evidence. But, they can't. They always have these evil boogeyman type people that they can't actually point to evidence. Just standing about around and say, hey, they're trying to burn these books. They're trying to ban this stuff. And it's really interesting. I was always confused when I was little. When I would walk into a library or a Barnes & Noble, and they would have an entire section dedicated to banned books, which if they are banned, that has got to be the worst ban in the history of the world if you are actively advertising it, and you have an entire month dedicated to read banned books. Okay, no history is being covered up here in the United States of America. Okay, we have the internet. We have books and things of this nature. No history is being covered up. This is just a whole thing that you guys can make up about and and cry and it's like a always talking point because it's never going to end because it's not happening. Right? It'd be like me saying that, there's a secret force of people running around here throwing water bottles at people. We must fundraise to stop them. We must fundraise to stop them. We must fight to stop this. And of course, it's not happening. So, we always will be able to campaign on this in 2026, 2028, 2032. It's tiring.
Classrooms is because you can then misuse words like oppression. There has been no oppression for
she really got those hands moving.
White man in this country.
She really thinks she said something. Like she thinks, in the words of my friend that I was talking about in the other episode, 206 comments, 33 likes, member of GCAM. She really thinks she ate there. Nah, kid, you didn't eat, okay? Or maybe if you did eat, you vomited all over the Capitol and over the United States and desecrated the seat on which you sat in. I mean, you really desecrate basically Thomas Jefferson's seat right there, okay? Think about all that he did, and you just basically spat on it. Like, white men weren't oppressed in this country, and you weren't either, okay? If you were at least, you probably should have been, okay? Because then you wouldn't be sitting here, and you'd be out doing something productive. Or you'd be a talk radio host.
You tell me which white men were dragged out of their homes. You tell me.
Well, I'm actually going on this rant about something that went 200 years ago. It'd be like us going on some rant about the Revolutionary War, wanting that some British general killed some soldier or something like that. Like, shut it.
Which one of them got dragged all the way across an ocean and told that you are going to go and work? We are going to steal your wives. We are going to rape your wives. That didn't happen. That is oppression.
That also didn't happen to you.
We didn't ask to be here.
Please leave. Get out. I will personally start a GoFundMe to evict you, and you can go live in any country in Africa that you want to, as long as you promise to never, ever, ever come back and desecrate the great country of the United States with your presence ever, ever again. Please. Please, get out. I mean, you know what they said in that Samsung ad from 2021, Samsung S21 Ultra. Hit the road, Jack, and don't come back. No more. Leave. Please. Gladly.
Well, first of all, I will admit that that's never happened to me. You're right, Jasmine. It's also never happened to you.
Or your mom, or your grandmother, or your great-grandmother, or your great-great-grandmother. Even if your great-great-grandmother was a slave, which she probably wasn't. She was born here, okay?
Man, it didn't happen to your parents. It didn't happen to your grandparents. It didn't happen to anybody you know.
I mean, this woman, and she's so annoying, but it's also like, she's in my state. She reminds me of people, I know. Oh, man, there's more of her? Oh, man. This is terrible, but we got to get through the entire clip. So back to Miss Cricket.
White men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, white.
Let's continue.
Don't let it escape you.
Don't let it escape you. Like your brain cells. She let those escape her, but don't you let them escape you.
That it is white men on this side of the.
Why is he speaking like an Indian from Disney? White man. Like, use grammar. I know you're on a rant. I know you have a sub 40 IQ. Like, who IQs is at the same temperature that Celsius and Fahrenheit meet, which of course she wouldn't know, but it's negative 40. I know you have that IQ, but I mean, at least please respect our language. I know you're like some kind of foreign exchange student who's bring your kid to Congress Day here. Right? She's someone's test experiment here. See, they picked the easiest district in Texas, and they're like, well, let this. But she's like a Make-A-Wish congresswoman. Okay, that's what she is. Make-A-Wish congresswoman, right? And she made a wish. She got it, and now she gets to sit there and yell on C-SPAN all day. Wow, quote unquote, white man has to listen to a drone on and on. She thinks he's doing something. She thinks he ate.
of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed, that y'all are the ones that are being harmed.
Yes, because if you discriminate against people on race for a job, and you should know this. Like, I don't know if you've heard of this person, maybe not. Martin Luther King Jr. I know, you probably weren't able to read about him due to all the banned history that Project 2025 is gonna instate or something. But he was this man who said that we shouldn't see people by race, but that all men were created equal. Red and yellow, black and white. The freshness in his sight. I know you probably haven't heard that song. Like, you probably don't even know what a church is. It's just it's a gathering of people that come together to worship God. Which you have no respect for. But this is America. We have a culture, so I'm just trying to help share our culture with you. So when you go back to your home country, you can share it after your Make-A-Wish deal ends. Okay.
That's not the definition of oppression. You tell me the prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment that you've had, and we can have a conversation.
You could start with Exodus.
The reality is that when it comes to financial performance,
oh yeah, here we go. Oh, this is the funniest thing. I was actually laughing.
Companies with more diverse workforces are more likely to outperform their competitors. Companies in the top quartile for racial diversity are 35% more likely to outperform their peers on profitability. Companies
that be true, which it isn't. You shouldn't need to make a law for it because companies are going to do it. But she cites some study that's been debunked. And essentially what happened is, and Matt Walsh gets into this, is that companies who have excess money then go spend it on a DEI program, which then makes them look good, but they actually lose money. And even if they don't lose money, they get grants from the government to help promote it because this is a communist agenda that is evil.
Companies with diverse executive teams are 25% more likely to generate greater profits. Diverse companies earn 2.5 times higher cash flow per employee.
There's a whole bunch of hard words for her to say. Like, wow, percentages, numbers. Wasn't good at math when I was growing up.
Diversity works. And until you can show me data that says otherwise, I think that we need to go back to being a country that listens to experts.
Yes, don't let it escape you. Don't let it escape you that only Black people have ever suffered oppression in the world. They're the only ones.
And honestly, the IQ of a baby squirrel. And honestly, she is an embarrassment to her district, which is just an embarrassment unto themselves for voting for this one. She is an embarrassment to the great state of Texas, which by and large would not vote for this woman. I'd like to see her run for senator. I would hate having to hear her voice so that she can go to the trash heap of. There's more? Oh my gosh! So that she can go to the trash heap of history. Oof! Wait, she changed outfits. Oh man, look at her little hairstyle. Oh, wow! Yeah. Everyone says that natural hair. Would you get that girl? Shut up. Anyway, there's more of her? Good grief.
Serious credential. Let's go back and watch that again.
Because as I'm sitting here and there seemed to be this question of you're either diverse or you're qualified, all I could think about was the fact that I currently hold an honorary doctorate. I also hold.
Well, all she could think about, which is, makes sense because her brain can only hold one thought at the same time. It's kind of like an old computer. And like you said, it's an honorary doctorate, which some of you guys may know. Bill the Duck from Life at the Pond, which is not Bill the Duck, Dr. Holstein, who's actually a chicken, had an honorary doctorate. But he actually had a real doctorate. So, a chicken from a 1990s Christian audio drama is more qualified than Jamie Crocket over here, which is saying something.
Hold a Juris Doctorate. I also hold a bachelor's. I also technically hold the rank of Lieutenant Colonel in the Civil Air Patrol, and I actually practice law.
Wow. Listen to all, I can make myself sound great as well. I can list off a whole bunch of qualifications that I have here. The largest tech media company in the city of Houston, run by a teenager. The largest digital influencer, the creator of the largest digital influencer based in the city of Houston, run by a teenager with an A first name and an H last name.
This law for almost 2 decades, in addition to serving on various boards, in addition to being a prior
You don't really need to have expertise to serve on a board.
state lawmaker. And there are those that would make some people believe that because I happen to be Black and or a woman,
And or are you flipping a coin at like, I'm gonna be a woman tonight or not?
that
Like, are you trying for the oppression trifecta? Hey, Black, biological woman, but trans. Boom. It's trifecta right there.
somehow, even though I can rattle off all the qualifications in the world, my Blackness makes me unqualified.
Oh my gosh, there she goes again. Wait, you know how I talk about how people worship at the altar of Blackness. I mean, she is the altar. Like they are presenting their offerings to her. Like she is. Like if you looked up Black in the dictionary, you'd find a picture of her menacingly smiling back at you.
By the way, an honorary doctorate, that's as meaningful a title as that's like me touting the fact that my kids gave me a mug for Father's Day that says world's best dad. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
All right. Hopefully, prayerfully, there's no more clips of her. Let's see. Oh wait. It's some man arguing back with her. Guarantee he's smarter than her. Just because he has a functioning brain. But let's go. Here we go.
job. Watch.
But the problem is that argument falls apart on page 6, line 17 through line 20. And in fact, if you're sincere about your intent of the bill, what I would tell you is you should delete those lines. Because actually those lines are actual new discrimination. See, you want to get rid of an office. We may disagree with it, but you can
Wait, no, we don't have to talk about this right here. But wait, she comes back? She comes back? And some other woman. All right, well, that's all for now, hopefully. And hopefully we never hear ever from her again. God bless.